Cold email in 2025 is completely different. And if you're still stuck in the old way, then you're probably getting ignored, landing in spam, and probably missing out in tens of thousands of dollars worth of deals. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact blueprint optimized for 2025 that's taken me a couple years to perfect. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just the exact system that actually works. So without further ado, let's crack on. So the new rules for 2025. Obviously, everyone started using AI. You can see it in the instantly prompts that Instantly have brought out, where you can just press a button and it creates a personalization for you, or you can easily personalize it through GPT for Sheets, which a lot of people do. But spam filters can now detect those AI generated messages. They often sound very robotic and aren't optimized for cold email deliverability. Spin tags as well, if you're using that, doesn't work like it's used to. You can't do a whole first email anyway using completely spin tags. It just doesn't work. And if it's robotic or repetitive or template based, it's just going to get flagged by spam filters or just ignored by the recipient. Imagine these people are probably receiving 50 to 100, if not more, cold emails daily. You need to stand out in that inbox. And the way people were telling you to do it on the back end of last year was by using AI to personalize that first line, which I personally did. It's just not going to cut it anymore. People are actually, lead generation agencies that I've spoken to are changing their strategy to now move more into cold calling. A lot of them are moving away from cold emailing. And these are people that do this every day. It's their day job. Their day job is to land leads for their clients. So I've gathered information from them, spoken to these business owners to understand why they're moving away. And I've offered my 2 pence as well as to why cold email still very much is alive and kicking. You should just use AI just purely for research and writing. Just make sure that it writes like a human. And what do I mean by this? So prompting, AI prompting isn't easy. You've got to tell it the tone of voice, how to speak, how to think, and how to act. You can't just give it a prompt, write an email, and off it goes. It's going to sound very repetitive and very robotic. You need to prompt it well enough and give it a lot of examples for it to understand your tone of voice, how you want these emails written, especially if you're going to be writing these emails and sending them out at scale. Rule 2, which is something one of my friends told me who's working in lead gen, is that Gmail and Outlook are harsher than ever on spam. A lot of people find it a lot more difficult to land in inbox than ever before, especially Microsoft. They're using new algorithms to track the engagement rates. So if people don't open or reply, then your domain will get flagged. How harsh is that? And your first 10 to 20 emails on a new domain matter the most for reputation. So you got to make sure you're warming it up correctly. It needs to be done right. I personally go for 3 weeks. Any campaign where I've warmed up for less than 3 weeks, so basically for 2 weeks, which is what a lot of people tell you to do, the longevity of that campaign and landing in the inbox hasn't been anywhere near what I'd expect. Ultra-personalisation now is the only way to get replies. I've worded that wrong. I wouldn't say it's the only way to get replies. I've actually just done an incredibly generic, no AI at all email campaign, which got me about a 4% reply rate to 6,000 people, which isn't bad. That's actually okay for a very generic one. I just think it's because of what I'm selling, my offer, and my follow-up email, especially my breakup email. I was getting a lot of replies to, which I'll go over later on. So a lot of people have just been using, hey, first name, I help company name with generic offer. That just doesn't work anymore. Neither does hey, first name, I saw you when I was looking for X, right? You need real insights, research, and custom messaging to break through the noise. Like I said before, these CEOs and people, they're getting hundreds of cold emails a day. And most likely they're archiving all of them. But if you send out 100 emails a day manually and you research, well, you probably couldn't even do that, 50 emails a day, and you research the company and you personalize every single line, then you're a lot more likely to get a reply than anyone else. And the replies are going to be, hey, thanks for researching my company. A lot of people don't do that, but we're not interested. That's a lot better than just ignored, flagged, or listed as unsubscribe. And the ultra-personalisation can easily be done at scale through AI and automation, but you just got to be clever with it. you got to probably spend a bit of time on the system, training the AI and getting the right prompt. And once you found that prompt and you found an email that works, go with it. I've got a free video on my YouTube about an ultra-personalized system, which I've been getting incredible response rates with. Have a look at that. It's a good job I've only got 5 subscribers at the moment, because if everyone started using that, we'd have to think of new ways. But that is literally the best way at the moment to get replies, for sure. Deliverability is now a science. It is getting tougher and tougher and tougher to land in inbox. And if you don't optimize that sending off infrastructure, your copy and domain health, you'll struggle to land in inboxes. So what do I mean by sending infrastructure? So a lot of people will tell you need Google and Outlook infrastructure to land in inboxes. That's not true at all. A lot of people say dedicated IPs don't actually have the hype. A lot of people say dedicated IPs shouldn't have the hype that they actually do have. I couldn't disagree more with that. I spend about 60 quid a month on a dedicated IP, and I have never ever seen an issue. No one else can ruin it for me. And that's what happened on shared IPs and the likes of Instantly and Mailscale and companies like that, is you're sharing your IPs with multiple other people, and other people that could just be spamming, or other newbies who don't really understand cold email yet and are getting flagged, blacklisted left, right and center, which is going to impact your campaigns as well. So I couldn't have other people ruining these campaigns for me. I needed to take full accountability. If anything went wrong, I'd know it was my fault, and not anyone else's. Because when it's someone else's fault, you're not in control. When it's your fault, you're in control and you can change things. So I personally use Spark Post, and I think they're great. I warmed up the IP for a long time, about 4 or 5 weeks, but my deliverability has been spot on. I also use MX Route, which for 40 quid, I've been able to set up multiple domains, multiple inboxes. Well, I have to buy my domains through Namecheap, set up multiple inboxes, all for very cheap. And I just use that as my IMAP. So they receive my email, so I can still use Instantly as my Unibox, if that makes sense. Don't track anything other than your reply and positive reply rates. If you start tracking your open rate, your click rates and all that crap, they put a pixel, a little link either in the bottom or the top of your email to track whether that's been opened or clicked or whatever. And that can lead to your domain and your email getting flagged as spam. And rotated IPs are now critical. Obviously, I've just spoken about a dedicated IP. But something that you could try, and I certainly will be trying, is Instantly's new, can't remember what it's called, SSIR or SISR feature, which rotates the IPs. So if one starts performing a little worse, it'll automatically pause that, warm it up, and put you on an optimal, high-performing IP, which is pretty good, because then it literally just debunks everything I've just said. In regards to other people ruining your deliverability, it might ruin your deliverability for one day, and then it automatically swaps. So I'd like to see how that works, and ideally if it works. But replies are important, even if they're negative. That's why at the start I send out 20 campaign emails, and also with a slow campaign ramp up. The reason for doing that is I've just sent 30, 40, 50 warm-up emails, and then suddenly I'm sending out a load of cold emails that aren't getting replies, and that just looks a bit dodgy to the spam filters. Why was he getting so many replies before and people were engaging with him during that process, which was the warm-up process, but now he's sending out emails and not getting any replies, and some are getting flagged as spam. So even if they're negative, it's still good for your deliverability. People will still reply. Even just an unsubscribe or a F off is going to help your deliverability. So encourage replies by adding a PS at the bottom. So PS, let me know if you don't want me to follow up. PS, if you're not interested, let me know and I'll take you off the list. And that encourages people to reply to you. And like I say, even if it's negative, it's a positive for you. Follow-ups are incredibly important. This is what I touched on at the start. None of my third email or final email follow-up performed very well until I used just one line, would you be opposed to a no-charge test run to see what's possible? Sent from my iPhone. And that performed incredibly better than any other last email I've ever done. People love having things for free. So if you're in my space, in the automation space, you can easily set this up. Just have the client, the prospect, the customer, once you've got on the call with them and you've explained the system and how it works and how it can help them and got them into the results-based thinking. Realistically, if a no-charge test run doesn't really work in this space, you're going to need some kind of small investment from them to keep the automation actually running. You don't want to be spending your own money on their test run. They can have it for a week, limited to a certain amount of leads, and it will cost them maybe 40, 50 quid, something like that. But obviously, if you're doing that for 10 clients, it's 400, 500 quid. And that's how good this follow-up, this final breakup email performs, is you could get 10 more responses from that. 6 of them, 5 of them maybe positive replies, 4 or 5 of them on the meeting or on the free trial. And next thing you know, you got another 3 or 4 clients yourself. And your second email should just link back to the first, a lot shorter. If you can ultra-personalize this, that would be great. I know I'll certainly be adding another step in my system using DeepSeek to create a second email, which is also ultra-personalized. And then the third email will just be this. And I can't see any campaign getting less than 10% response rates with 50% positive replies personally. So yeah, I'll show you a few examples then of how it works. So this is what it looks like. I'll have the personalization, which is a very short 20 to 25 word icebreaker. That's probably the most interesting part that Perplexity has pulled about them, which if you don't know about Perplexity, it's a AI search engine. So you just put the person's details in there, or AI can, or you can dynamically do it through Make. And it'll search that prospect, give you all the relevant information on them, and then you can use OpenAI or DeepSeek to create a really personalized icebreaker based off everything that Perplexity found. Then I go into the too long didn't read, which is like your value hook. This is essentially what you can do for them, that something that really just stands out, what you do, and you'll have to work on that to make it as good as possibly can be. Social proof, so your best case study, you'll stick in there. Your call to action will be, can I send in more info over? Can I share a short video personalized to you guys? And then you'll do the postscript, which is, P.S. Even if we don't work together, or even if we just have a virtual coffee, I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on integrating generative AI in the sales process, clear space you're leading in. And if this isn't a priority right now, just let me know and I won't follow up. So ideally, this is a bit long. This is just an example. I'd just condense it down a little more. I'd definitely reduce some words in there and just try and have it one line that probably ends about here. That's fine. Absolutely fine. That could just have a few words taken out, but it's not the end of the world. Well, let's just see how many words this is. If we go on word counter, 122 words. If you can get that down to 100 words, you're flying. Absolutely flying. But you can see the level of personalization that we got here. That looks like it's been written by a human, without a doubt. That's the stats of these guys. So apparently I've looked on the internet and I've seen this stuff. This is what I can do. I can get you 20 plus high intent opportunities per month tailored to your target industries. I worked with a similar SaaS startup and I actually helped them generate 32 grand in a matter of just a few months. They had a strong focus on AI driven solutions too. So I'm confident this approach can drive results for you as well. Can I share a brief walkthrough of how this could work? So I'm leading with value. I'm not trying to sell them. Well, obviously I am kind of trying to sell them, but it's not like, can we get on a call straight away? Can I just send you some info? Will that be okay? And then you can decide whether you like it or not. And then for example, here's another one, here's what people use at the moment, which just isn't going to work anymore. Hey Manuel, wanted to run this by you. I have an AI for engineer that generates 10 to 20 high tickets meetings every month and can also handle inbound calls. Can I share more info? If you send in 10,000 of them, you'll still get replies and you'll still get meetings. But it's worth investing a little bit more money, ultra personalizing it, and you'll get a hell of a lot more responses and a hell of a lot more meetings and a hell of a lot more clients. This is the type of email that CEOs, senior people, directors, C-suite will be getting on a daily basis, probably on an hourly basis, probably every half an hour, this type of email. Doesn't work anymore. You need to stand out from the crowd. Right, so the infrastructure, buying the domain and the email. I've put by ages domain there, but I meant by aged domains if possible. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but if possible, if there's a domain that matches your main domain or is extremely similar to it and has been around for a while, buy it. Set up with a well-known sending provider, SparkPost, Amazon SES, SendGrid, stuff like that. Then use MX Route for your, so they're going to, the sending provider, they're your SMTP server. So you'll be using them. You can use a shared IP because Instantly will rotate it anyway, which is pretty good. And then for your IMAP, use MX Route. All this means is that every mailbox has its own SMTP and IMAP password. In fact, no, they'll have they'll have the same SMTP username and password, but they'll have different IMAP username and passwords, which is great for your deliverability because it means that every email account is separate, right? They're not all linked to the same IMAP or whatever. They all have their separate IMAP, and it's going to be less likely to trigger any spam filters. Or you can spend a lot more and just go with Instantly because I know they have their premium pre-warmed domains and all that crap. So if you want to invest a bit more, do that. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to. I think this is excellent. I really would recommend doing exactly what I've showed you in a previous one. You don't need to worry too much about the DNS records if you go with these, because I have an automation on my channel completely for free. Go download the blueprint, stick it into make.com, and you just need to change a few things, but you only need to do it once. And then suddenly you can set up your SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records, as well as MX and TXT, completely autonomously. You can go buy 10 domains from Namecheap, run the automation, and it'll set up all 10 domains optimized with the right DNS records, optimized for pristine deliverability. I can't recommend that enough. Go do that. It's all for free, apart from obviously a SparkPost and MX Route. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll help you out. But if you want to get new clients and scale very quickly, you have to reach out to a lot of people. Volume is important here. So on my channel, you can scrape 10,000 leads for free. It will take like a week. Scrape 10,000 leads. To be fair, you might want 20 to 30,000. So a couple weeks scraping leads while you're sleeping. Put them through the system that I've also got on my channel, which ultra personalizes it, finds the emails and verifies those emails, put them through a list, make sure it's fully verified, add them to Instantly. Also use the automation which sets up your DNS records, and you are flying. Warm up. If you have a dedicated IP, warm up for a minimum of 4 weeks. I'd only recommend getting a dedicated IP if you are looking to scale quickly and you want to be sending out about 10,000 a month as well. That's the only time I'd recommend a dedicated IP. Do not have a job if you're going to do this. You need to quit your job, start your automations agency, and just purely buy a dedicated IP, get 10,000 verified leads and start reaching out to them. I can't explain the amount of meetings you'll have and eventually the amount of clients you'll have all within 1 month. It's incredible. Although if you don't want to purchase a dedicated IP, if you find it a bit too complicated or anything, then shared IPs are fine. With Instantly's new rotation software. Warm up your emails for a minimum of 3 weeks. That's my personal opinion. A lot of people will say 2 weeks, I reckon 3. And look into softwares which allow you to choose your warm-up copy. So warmy.io, you can choose your own. You can choose how the emails send and receive. So you can actually send warm-up emails that are similar to the copy that you're going to be sending out as cold emails, which allow the spam filters and Google and Microsoft and all them to already be warmed up to the fact that you're going to be sending emails like this out, which is pretty cool. Right, so smart sending rules. You need to verify all your lists. That's incredibly important. I have bounce rates of 0 on my campaigns because every single email is verified. I personally use Never Bounce. I've been told that Instantly's verify feature is very good, although quite expensive apparently. I haven't quite checked that out, but that's what I've been told. Use slow campaign ramp up. So I think the first few days, it'll be like 4 emails each, 6 emails each, 8 emails each. So if you're not very patient, then this isn't going to be ideal for you. But just, slow campaign ramp up and start with a maximum of 20 cold emails per mailbox, that should say, not per domain. And scale horizontally. So get more domains, don't get more mailboxes. People say that you can safely have 5 mailboxes per domain, but just stick with 3. If you want, go up to 4. You can apparently safely go with 5, but no more than 5. So this is the 4-sentence cold email formula that I use, okay? So line 1 is the pattern interrupt, so the highly ultra-personalized sentence. I saw your LinkedIn post about. I saw you on a podcast last week. I watched your video about. That's a really interesting take. Value hook. Why should they care? So I can help you guys achieve X in Y time. If you train the AI to say something like that, perfect. Line 3 should be your social proof and your offer. I recently helped a similar company in the same space as you achieve this in Z time. I'll even guarantee the same results or you don't pay. And line 4 is no sell, pure value, as I've already mentioned. Do you mind if I share a quick video? Can I share more info? Do you mind if I share it here? And then at the end, just put a PS. Let me know if this isn't of interest and I won't reach out again. Very important. Not enough people do it. Stick that in. That will change your campaign by itself. AI and cold email. There's big buzzwords at the moment about AI and using it in cold email. There doesn't need to be. Just use it right, use it smartly. Use it for the research, the personalization at scale, and generating variations of the email. If you're sending the same email out all the time, you're going to get triggered and land in spam and promotions and stuff like that. So use it to generate variations. It's great for that. It's great for deliverability. Don't use it for creating one-size-fits-all templates. Everyone knows that AI, if not prompted correctly, does sound generic and robotic, and don't use it for the same half generic icebreakers. So what I mean by that is I saw company name whilst looking for lipsticks, if they sell lipsticks or whatever, So to avoid spam and maximize deliverability, don't use links, avoid spammy words like guarantee and free and stuff like that. If you want to go on Mail Meteor, you can just type in your email there and it will tell you whether it's great, poor, or tragic. Engagement is king. More replies, the better. Doesn't matter if they're negative, whatever. Just as long as you're getting replies in, that's great for your deliverability. Split send across multiple domains. So use multiple domains, 3 inboxes per domain, and just send 20 to 30 emails per domain. And also be testing your inbox placement regularly. I think you can do a couple for free on Instantly per month. If not, just go on GlockUps and stuff like that. Just type in inbox placement tests, email guard, do it. Normally you can get a certain amount for free as well, and there's so many out there, so you're never going to run out. And if you do, just change your account, change your email, get another free account. Cool. So I've actually put a whole cheat sheet together of exactly what we've discussed here and how you can use it for either your business or whatever. Just in the comments, put email and I'll send you over that blueprint. But I'm also interested in hearing what your biggest cold email struggle is. Do you think you're landing in spam? Are you struggling to set up all the DNS records? Whatever it is, let me know and I'll see if I can help, or I can point you in the right direction, because the likelihood is that I'll potentially have a video about it already on my channel. Drop a comment. I'm personally replying to every single one. At the moment, I've only had one single reply, so you can comment. You know who you are. But yeah, it's great for me, great for the channel. And it's going to be great for you as well, because I'm replying to it, and hopefully I can share any knowledge that I didn't or wasn't able to share in here or forgotten about. I can answer that question using my own knowledge that I've learned in the comments to you, and a lot of people can learn from that as well. And I'm breaking things like this down at the moment every single day. I'm actually going to New York tomorrow, but have a huge amount of videos lined up, ready what to post whilst I'm out in New York. So every single day I'll be sharing make.com tips, automation tips, business tips, online business tips. So subscribe, keep in the know. And other than that, see you guys in the next one. Thank you.